place like home.
We're really rocking.
Trump with a towering victory.
We don't have much of a race anymore.
Recaptures momentum from Ted Cruz. The billionaire now hoping to clinch the nomination before the convention. And Clinton with a decisive victory over Bernie Sanders, calling the win personal.
Race for the Democratic nomination is in the home stretch, and victory is in sight.
Now taking aim in November, our whole team breaks it down this morning.
Deadly downpours, tornadoes hit the heartland as the South braces for more flash floods. Now hail, strong wind, and even more rain on the way.
Real-life castaway. A TV crew stumbles across a man stranded on a deserted island in 110-degree heat.
I think he had pretty much given up hope.
How they found him just in time.
He won't throw away his shot. Battle over the $10 bill after reports a woman may not take center stage on The Money starring Alexander Hamilton. What the hit Broadway show may have to do with that.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. All kinds of races going on this Wednesday morning. We got Alexander Hamilton versus Susan B. Anthony. $10 bill.
Right.
That could come today. We're also coming off a decisive night in the race for the White House.
It was dramatic as New Yorkers cast their votes, both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton walking away with double-digit wins.
Take a look at the results. Hillary Clinton, a crushing blow to Bernie Sanders. You see it right there, a 16-point win. And Donald Trump with a huge win over Ted Cruz and John Kasich right there. A clean sweep, nearly a clean sweep of New York's big pile of delegates.
As you can imagine, our team is covering every angle this morning. ABC's Tom Llamas is starting us off at Trump headquarters in New York. Good morning, Tom.
Robin, good morning to you. Donald Trump said he was only going to celebrate for 2 hours and then it was back to work. Quite a scene here last night at Trump Tower, as you're about to see. This as Ted Cruz is now tangling with someone other than Trump.
New York. Overnight, with Sinatra blasting, his children cheering, and wife Melania by his side, Donald Trump put his touch on the New York victory.
We're going to end at a very high level and get a lot more delegates than anybody projected, even in their wildest imaginations.
The GOP frontrunner thanking his campaign in the midst of a staff shakeup, new leadership and new hires coming in to help Trump secure the nomination.
I really want to thank my team. My team has been amazing. And, you know, it's actually a team of unity. It's evolving, but people don't understand that.
And in Trump's brief speech, he found time to single out his closest rival.
Nobody should take delegates and claim victory unless they get those delegates with voters and voting.
The billionaire trying to make the case it's time for Senator Ted Cruz to step aside.
Based on what I'm seeing on television, Senator Cruz is just about mathematically eliminated.
But Cruz says he's staying in the race until the convention, and now losing his patience with people who question his delegate roundups in some states.
Sean, the only people asking this question are the hardcore Donald Trump supporters.
Why do you do this every single time no, you got to stop. Every time I have you on the air and I ask a legitimate question, you try to throw this in my face. I'm getting sick of it.
The Texas senator getting into it with conservative talk show host Sean Hannity.
Sean, can I answer your question without being interrupted?
Go ahead.
This notion of voterless election, it is nonsense. They are making it up.
Cruz then tearing into the Trump campaign.
I cannot help that the Donald Trump campaign does not seem capable of running a lemonade stand. If you lose, don't cry about it. Go back and learn how to win an election.
Now, Cruz clearly not happy with that line of questioning. He's already setting his sights on one of the next big contests today. He's in Pennsylvania, one of the states voting next Tuesday. George?
Okay, Tom, thanks very much. Let's go to the Democrats right now. Hillary Clinton scored close to a knockout blow over Bernie Sanders here in New York, so she's turning her focus to November with tough words for the GOP. ABC's Cecilia Vega here with the latest. Good morning, Cecilia.
George, good morning to you. As you said, this was a serious blow to Sanders with this win. Hillary Clinton called this home turf victory personal. I was in the room last night for that victory speech. She is now laser focused on the general election and taking on the Republicans.
This morning, Hillary Clinton truly in an Empire state of mind.
Today, you proved once again there's no place like home.
celebrating a New York Grand Slam in her adopted home state, a win that pushes the Democratic nomination nearly out of Bernie Sanders' reach and has Clinton feeling confident about her chances ahead.
The race for the Democratic nomination is in the home stretch, and victory is in sight.
After a heated battle here, Clinton now extending an olive branch to some.
And to all the people who supported Senator Sanders, I believe there is much more that unites us than divides us.
While taking shots at others.
Donald Trump and Ted Cruz are pushing a vision for America that's divisive and frankly dangerous.
Sanders still vowing to stay in the race, and he has already moved on to the next big battle.
Thank you.
This morning, Sanders is back home in Vermont, taking a day off the trail after that bruising New York loss.
Next week, we will be competing in Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maryland, and Delaware, and we look forward to winning a number of those states.
Sanders says he is not going anywhere, but overnight, one of his advisors reportedly said that after next week's votes, the team will assess where they are. They do, though, concede that he has to win most of the states ahead, but there is no question about it, Robin. When it comes to delegates, Clinton has the mathematical advantage right now that will be nearly impossible to beat.
All right, Cecilia, you're talking about delegates. Let's go to ABC's John Carl, where the delegate race stands right now. Start off with the Republicans, John.
Good morning, Robin. Well, a huge win in New York for Donald Trump, especially when it comes to delegates. He's won so far 89 of New York delegates. John Kasich only 3. Ted Cruz entirely shut out. To give you an idea of how sweeping this victory was, Donald Trump won all of the congressional districts in the entire state of New York except for one. The one that he lost is right there, the one that includes Trump Tower. John Kasich has won that congressional district, the 12th, by 70 votes. So where does it stand now overall? Trump is closing in on the magic number that he needs to clinch the nomination. He needs just 392 more, about 58% of the delegates going forward. Ted Cruz is now mathematically eliminated from clinching before the convention, just like John Kasich. In terms of the road ahead, the next states, next week from today, again, more states in the Northeast. The biggest prize of all, Pennsylvania. By the way, that will be an organizational challenge, though, for Donald Trump, because only 17 of the delegates in Pennsylvania go to the winner. The rest are the actual delegates that run under their own names.
All right, John, thank you very much. Let's get over down to George.
Okay, I'm here with Matthew Dowd and Cecilia Vega as well. Let's start out with the Democrats, Matt Dowd. It looks like, and you saw that interesting concession that Cecilia just reported from the Sanders team, that next week it's more or less do or die from them, just in time for Hillary Clinton, because the way the race has been going here in New York was really taking a toll on her overall numbers.
Yeah, her overall numbers have declined both in the primary and then in general election in the course of this. I actually think Sanders, he's back home today. I think he needs to reassess and decides where he goes from here fundamentally, because the math is a problem. And to give a little homage or paraphrase Aaron Burr and Hamilton, he needs to ask himself, is the world is wide enough for Hillary and me? And I think that's what he needs to decide, is he can stay in this race, but does he need to get in a duel with her?
And that's what the Clinton campaign is bracing for. They're, as you reported, looking ahead to Trump and Cruz. But they know they have to fix her problems, particularly on honesty and trustworthiness.
And especially if Sanders stays in this race and does not go away for the next few months, right? It's not just Sanders asking himself. I think you're going to start hearing the Clinton campaign behind closed doors. You will hear Democratic Party leaders say, Bernie Sanders, it's time for you to step aside, because these attacks that you're hitting Hillary Clinton with will start to hurt her moving forward to a general election, as she clearly starts to pivot. And we heard her last night. She's focused on Trump. She's focused on Ted Cruz.
And John Carl, on the Republican side, boy, such a tough night for Ted Cruz. Even though he's been gaining the delegates, he's been getting crushed by the voters. The question for him is, where does he find a win?
Yeah, and he's probably going to get crushed again next week, because when you look at those states coming forward, we have a poll that just came out in Connecticut, another one of those next Tuesday. Trump's got a huge lead there. He's had a lead in Pennsylvania. But again, that Pennsylvania state is interesting because 54 of the delegates are elected under their own name. So you vote for presidential candidate, but you're also voting for individual delegates.
But Matthew, Dad, it looks like we're getting to the point now where all Donald Trump has to do is actually get close, because he's got that powerful argument that a lot of Republican voters agree with. Whoever has the most states and the most voters and the most delegates into the convention should get the nomination.
I think this is a big turning point in the race. I mean, he won, and with such an overwhelming victory, he basically cleared up almost every single delegate in the course of this. And as John said, he's going to consistently win. And now Ted Cruz has lost his only argument, which was he was the only one that had the math on his side. He has the exact same mathematical possibility of getting 1237 by June 7th as John Kasich does at this point, and that is 0.
But there's still a real chance that Trump will not clinch before.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's still an uphill battle for him to
if
clinch.
he gets at 11, if he gets 1150, then I think he can get the unbound delegates on his side.
Real quickly, Cecilia Vega, who do you think the Clinton camp, assuming she gets the nomination, really wants to run against?
Trump.
Trump?
No doubt. Trump. They're ready. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you all very much. And Hillary Clinton will be here live tomorrow morning answering your questions for our Coffee with the Candidates town hall. Back to Robin.
All right, George, now to that severe weather in the heartland. Tornadoes touching down overnight, and now flash flood alerts across 4 states in the south. ABC's Rob Marciano is here, has the latest for us. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, Robin. Those are the 2 areas of concern. More in the way of rain across a flood zone and more of this. Look at this tornado video out of Ladonia, Missouri. One of only 2 tornadoes touching down. This was not a storm chaser. Someone who just came upon it and hit the brakes. Thankfully, no harm, no foul there. But definitely some harm north of Texas. This drone video shot yesterday also. Incredible amounts of water. Still, the Cypress River has yet to recede, and we've got more rain, I think, coming at you. Big-time storms coming through Dallas earlier this morning, and that convective mass is heading towards Dallas, and that will probably stir up more in the way of rain. Meanwhile, the Northeast has its problems in the way of dry air. We'll talk what that brings to us in just a few minutes. Robin?
All right. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you. We're going to move overseas now to some breaking news. Another earthquake has hit the coast of Ecuador this morning as the country races to find survivors from Saturday's deadly quake. ABC's Lindsay Janis is near the epicenter right now, where they're still feeling aftershocks. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, George. There's a dramatic scene unfolding behind me right now. These rescuers say they think they heard the voice of a man from underneath the rubble. They've been shouting down into a hole saying, "Do you hear me? Do you hear me?" They say they also hear what sounds like a coin being tapped against something metal.
This morning, searchers digging through the rubble. With at least 200 people still missing, there are glimmers of hope. 51-year-old Pablo Cordova pulled from inside a collapsed hotel after making a cell phone call from beneath the rubble. His wife, so sure he was gone, she'd purchased his coffin. In the resort town of Manta, another man dragged out of the wreckage. On his face and all over his body, a layer of dust so thick you can hardly see his skin. Workers also rescuing these 2 young children. In the town of Pedernales, closest to the quake's epicenter, residents gathering whatever belongings they can find. In the debris, Augustine Santana finding his baby daughter's pillow. He lost his wife and child when their apartment collapsed.
Your wife and your baby. She was holding your baby.
The death toll from the quake rising above 500.
You can see that the windows are moving. This is an aftershock.
Yeah. One of hundreds felt since Saturday. Many, like Jose, scared to return to their crumbling homes.
8 families are sleeping on this concrete soccer field.
The rescuers are still trying to determine if there is someone alive beneath this rubble more than 3 days after that powerful earthquake. Also this morning, a big aftershock, 6.1 magnitude right here on the coast. We felt it ourselves. It's a very precarious situation here.
George? So much devastation. We can only hope they do find that man.
That's true. Now to new trouble for former Heisman Trophy winner Johnny Manziel, the quarterback, now speaking out as his agent officially cuts ties with him and he loses endorsement deals because of his behavior off the field. ABC's Lindsay Davis is here with more on that. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Robin. It wasn't all that long ago he was celebrated as Johnny Football, but now 6 weeks after being cut by the Browns, he remains unemployed, dropped by his second agent since February, dropped by Nike, and dropped by his now ex-girlfriend who has an order of protection against him.
More hurdles for former Heisman Trophy winner Johnny Manziel.
I could go back and probably give a younger me some advice.
Nike, the quarterback's biggest sponsor, confirms it dropped the free agent's contract after the football season ended. This comes just 1 day after these photos emerged of a disheveled-looking Manziel partying at the musical festival Coachella. This is NFL power agent Drew Rosenhaus officially cut ties with Manziel on Tuesday. Rosenhaus said last week he would take the 23-year-old back if he entered treatment within 5 days. Those 5 days are now up.
At this point, I don't have a choice because this situation is spiraling downward, and I'm not going to be a part of a young man destroying his life. It's just not going to happen on my watch.
The former Cleveland Brown spent 10 weeks in rehab after his rookie NFL season, making more headlines for his tumultuous relationship and hard partying ways than his football plays. On Thursday, a grand jury is expected to consider whether or not to charge Manziel with attacking his ex-girlfriend Colleen Crowley in January, allegedly hitting her so hard she temporarily lost hearing in one ear. Manziel tells ABC News, "I'm hoping to take care of the issues in front of me right now so I can focus on what I have to do if I want to play in 2016. I also continue to be thankful to those who really know me and support me."
Manziel and his friends are accused of causing more than $30,000 worth of damage at a home they rented for a two-day party in L.A. last week. This week, the 2014 first-round draft pick faces a charge for domestic violence that carries a sentence of up to a year in jail. Robin, his dad, has said if they can't get him help, he won't live to see his 24th birthday. So much more serious than football here.
Yes, we've heard him say that. All right, Lindsay, thank you. Now to Amy with the morning's other top developing stories, starting with the water crisis in Flint.
That's right. The first criminal charges are now being announced today in connection with the lead-contaminated water there in Flint. Two mid-level engineers at Michigan's Department of Environmental Quality are expected to be charged along with the city water department employee. The charges include official misconduct and evidence tampering. Flint's water was contaminated after the city switched water sources to save money. Well, President Obama has arrived in Saudi Arabia, where he is asking the Saudis for help fighting ISIS in Syria and Iraq. But overshadowing the president's visit is the so-called 9/11 bill, which is picking up bipartisan support in the U.S. Senate. It would allow Americans to sue countries that support terrorism. Well, a federal appeals court has struck down a Virginia school district's rule that banned a transgender teen from using the bathroom of his gender identity. The court ruled the school discriminated against Gavin Grimm, who was born female, when it stopped him from using the boys' room. The decision could have implications for a similar law in North Carolina. Well, a sign of the times in the computer industry, Intel is cutting 12,000 jobs because of slow sales. That's about 11% of that company's workforce. And some dramatic video overseas. Take a look at this woman who escaped from a burning building in Spain, climbing out of her third-floor window in her nightclothes and falling, you just saw, into a blanket held by her neighbors. Fire crews say those quick-thinking neighbors saved her life, and she is okay this morning. And finally, here is why you should never, ever, ever give up. We're going to take you to a track meet in Ireland. You got to watch this. This is the final lap of the women's relay race. Watch the runner who's behind, way behind, in the red tank top. All of a sudden, she turns on the speed and just starts blowing past the women in front of her. And then, look, you don't think she can do it, but then shockingly, again, overtaking second place. And then, she dropped to the ground. Plants after using every ounce of her energy. The announcer said she appeared to come out of the depths of hell. This was a relay race. She took her team from 5th place to 1st place in 200 meters. She told her coach, I can retire now.
Yeah. What a kick.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
That was something. Let's go back to Rob right now. A lot of red on that map.
Yeah, we had a couple of fires in New Jersey yesterday that were stirred up by the high winds and dry conditions, and we've got that across parts of New England. Breezy for sure, so be aware of that, and don't play with matches. All right, time for your warm cities now. Brought to you by Febreze.
Carl, don't you have friends coming over?
Yeah, so?
It stinks in here. You've got to wash this whole room.
Are you kidding? Wash it.
Let's wash it with Febreze.
For all the things you can't wash, use Febreze Fabric Refresher.
Whoa.
Hey, Mrs. Weber. Hey, it smells nice in here.
And try pluggable Febreze with up to 4 times the freshness in one refill. Pluggable Febreze and Fabric Refresher. 2 more ways to breathe happy.
Good morning, Washington. After starting the work week in the 80s, today we're going to cool it down by about 10 degrees. Look for highs in the lower 70s with sunshine. Temperatures will stay a little bit more seasonable overnight tonight as well. A couple of clouds developing, cool temperatures into the 40s. Tomorrow we'll watch for the clouds to increase. A stray shower will be possible well west of the metro with highs again in the low to mid 70s. Best chance of rain comes Friday with a rumble of thunder possible, giving way to a dry weekend.
That murder mystery in Texas, the search is on for this suspect seen in tactical gear in a church where a mother of 3 was found dead. Now new clues this morning.
And a big day for the Royals. This new portrait celebrates